Yeah, we are. Welcome back, guys. This is Two Dudes and a Brew. I'm Billy.
I'm Alex.
And we got another one. Fire.
It's a beautiful day, so
It
why
actually
not?
is. We're actually filming this during the day. So,
Which is new for us. We usually don't film during the day.
No, it's usually like 7:30 or so at night. Like, you have to get off work, I have to get off work. It's the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it's solidly late when we...
Every single time.
Yes.
And then it runs late, and I'm always like, after the next day, I'm like, fuck, I'm tired.
I get home, it's like, oh, it's... You know, we could be so much earlier, and I say that to myself every time, and then we get back, and it's like...
No,
okay,
no.
Same time.
Yep.
Like, made a point to go earlier. We didn't get earlier, but whatever.
No.
It is. The commitment of the grind.
We just do what we do.
Yeah, that.
Don't you fur me? Don't you fur me?
Fur or feel?
Fur me.
Uh-uh.
No?
I know fur be.
Dope nasty. Well,
That's the way this is going to go today. I can see that.
I've had a couple mimosas before we started. Not gonna lie.
Thanks a
guys.
lot, producer Albany.
She did too. I was doing good. I was like all day. I was just like chilling and like whatever. And she's like, "We should have mimosas." And I was like, "Mimosas sound really good right now, but we don't have anything for it." She was like, "You should go to the store." And I was like, "I really don't want to leave." And then I left and went.
Yeah, I can say I didn't even
mimosas,
go to the store because when we called you, Albany was like, "Yeah, Billy's at the store. The meat's already smoking." Yeah, he went for mimosa stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll say I'm surprised,
smoke some meat,
but it would be a lot.
Drink some alky, have a good time. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the good time.
Not a long time. Just
Probably not, but a good time for sure.
There you go.
Guys, let's get right into it. Obviously, you know, this is, like I said, Two Dudes and a Brew. We drink beer, we review it, and we talk shit. So, if you don't like that shit,
These are
pause it
not
now.
lemonades.
They're not
Just so
lemonade.
you know.
So, this beer that we are actually drinking tonight is called Lefty, Loosey IPA from Revelry Brewing Company. Out of Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston.
My home state. Not town, but state. It says... Wow, you sound like shit.
Hey, thanks for mentioning that.
No worries. It says, brewed in the Left Coast tradition, this IPA is dry and bitter. Lefty Loosey is front-end loaded with those old-school hop varieties that help define the style. Hang loose with this bitter, quenching glass of sunshine. It is a 7% alcohol by volume. Obviously, we're drinking 12 ounces today. And I think this one is a part of the independent, but I don't see the... No, it's not. Okay.
I say I don't see it on there where it said...
The graphic on this can, which obviously if you're listening to this now, I just posted a picture of the actual can yesterday. But it's of looks like a Volkswagen Beetle with some surfboards on the top. You know what it vibes me as? With
What?
like the cursive, the way it's written? Rugrats.
Yes.
You feel that? Yeah.
It's the color scheme and the way they do the cartoonish way of doing
Yeah, it
it.
definitely comes off of Rugrats. But they definitely did utilize the entire label. I mean, you got a hippie van up front, your Volkswagen, your no left turns.
As
sign.
they're making the left turn.
You got some ocean waves with some Dr. Seuss clouds in the back. So let's fucking go.
Seuss clouds. Hey, real quick, look at the back wheels on the car.
Wow.
That's a whole lot of stagger.
A lot of it. I like the license plate. It says Lefty Loosey.
It would help to have your
Super
beer's
duper
name on there. Producer Albany, producer Jordan, whoever's rating this shit, come join us.
Yeah, I think producer Albany, she has some college shit going on, so we're going to have Jordan rate our pours tonight. Man, this is confusing. Alex, let's pop a top. Let's go. Yeah. All right.
Well, at least this one didn't make a
It
mess.
didn't spew, and usually that's a good sign. So Alex is going to pour it
Not a
now.
squirter.
Alex is going to pour now. We'll see how it goes. Nice one. And the turn. There it is. He got the turn up. Oh,
that died.
She died on you. Oh, no. That's not that bad.
That's
All
not
right.
terrible.
So don't rate it yet. You saw that. Now I'm going to do mine. You ready? I'm spilling a little bit.
You're spilling 3/4 of it. It's going.
I'm not 3/4. I just did the quick
Look
pour.
at all the foam.
You have more foam than me. What are you talking
I'm
about?
on the side of the glass on the table.
All right, I
dude.
lost a little. It is what it is. Jordan,
come on.
rate
Points them
these
out.
pours,
Let's
please.
go.
On a 1 to 5, right?
Mike's over here, dude.
Mike's over there. There you go.
I'm going to give you, Alex, a 3.8 and Billy a 3.6.
Wow.
But you lost a little bit because
Yeah.
you lost a little bit.
She's a tough raider. She doesn't even get into the 4s. So
No, she's very judgmental. I'd love to see her pour.
All right.
Because it'd be ugly.
Well, cheers, my guy. Let's take a sniff
Cheers.
and then a taste. Let's see. What do you get right off the bat from the smell?
Hops.
Heavy hops.
Yeah.
I don't really get heavy hops. I get like a lighter hop, and if you actually look at it, it comes off as a hazy. Because because we do most of our hazies, or we do a lot of hazies, and that gives off that same like really unclear view. But
Yeah.
you know what? Let's just fucking send it.
Let's do it.
All right. Right off the rip, where are you at?
Something different. It's really bitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting?
A little bit. It's kind of got the I don't know. It's got me spun a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is actually pretty good.
You like it?
I've been, I think last episode we did the Poho or Pojo IPA, whatever it was.
Pojo.
Poho.
King Bob.
King Bob!
Exactly.
You guys remember that from the previous episode. If not, you should check it out. But I'm going to say I've been very impressed the last couple of episodes with the local beers.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I explained in last episode, they really sometimes go way overboard with it, and it's just like too much of a hop, too much of this, too much of that, and it's just like these last couple we've had, they've really kept it light, they kept it easy.
Yeah,
and
they're not trying to recreate the wheel here.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make
a good beer.
quality.
Make a good fucking beer. So, smell, for you said heavy hops. You said it's just a different taste for you.
Yeah.
Me, as far as smell goes, it's much more like I'm smelling like a much lighter hop, actually. Like a lighter hop with a pretty smooth taste overall. I do taste the bitter there, but it's not overwhelming to me, which I'm really enjoying.
That's a positive.
But we'll see. Because we got 3 of these motherfuckers to drink,
It's going to be good, Bubba. It's going to be good.
I agree. Alex.
One thing. Hold on.
Oh, you're going to do the King Bob thing, aren't you? You should just save that, honestly, as a sound on your computer for all time.
I like when he mic drops and walks away.
King Bob!
It irritates Jordan like hell that I love the Minions because that's my go-to. If there's nothing on TV, that's what I turn on.
Yeah, that's what you said last week. Just like super like, nope, Minions.
Minions.
Fuck everything else, Forge and Fire, all those awesome shows.
No.
Nope, Minions.
Minions.
Because I'm 12.
They don't speak English. They speak like 12 different languages all mashed into one. It's great.
Yeah, with that light voice.
They had a whole movie where they didn't actually speak a sentence.
And you watched the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
I know you did. Probably
Great
more
movie.
than once.
100%. Yeah.
Alex, let's move right into one of our. It's the OG segment, which I still take pride in for coming up with because I came up with it on the spot and now it's stuck and I love it. Bullshit of the week. Alex, what is your bullshit of this week?
So, we all talk about how I travel with racing. And let me start out. Everybody can hear that my voice is a little off. I've coughed a couple times. If I sneeze, I do apologize. It's the change in temperatures going from 30-some degrees in North Carolina.
100%.
Landing in Florida where it's 75. So we had it the other night. It was 70, 78, 79 degrees or something around that ballpark. Humid.
Yeah.
This rainstorm came in. And I opened the door and went, oh my God. It is cold out here.
Yeah.
That hard change, that night I could feel it. Immediately,
It just like takes over. Yeah, no,
it was,
absolutely.
And I have full taste, smell, no fever. I don't feel lackadaisical. Literally, I'm just congested.
Also, guys, we legitimately took his temperature. Producer Albany took his temperature when he walked in the house because we just wanted to be 100% sure.
Producer Albany checked my temperature after I sat at the table for 10 minutes and ate. She let me finish eating first. It was so nice.
Because we obviously that was downstairs. We produced the show upstairs, and this is much more of an intimate setting.
Oh, we're
because
intimate.
we bang each other up here, so we we just didn't want for that to
no
take
comment,
over.
Producer Albany.
I thought you were talking about
She doesn't give a shit. She's like, whatever.
What'd you say, Jordan?
I thought you were talking about you and Alex.
No, not yet. Billy's got to get me
I'm
lifted
probably
up.
gonna have to let Murphy out of his cage because he's gonna keep freaking
Probably.
whining the whole time.
But yeah, I mean, my bullshit of the week is just it's this time of year. It's the temperature change, and honestly, I'm really used to it because we get it when we go out west. It's the change in climates. It usually doesn't affect me as bad, but I bounce. Some years I go out there, I'm fine. Other years I end up just fighting through it.
Yeah, I got you.
It's gonna be a good day though. We're all right.
We're rolling. It is what it is.
So Billy, talk to me about your bullshit of the week.
So my bullshit of the week, it's not really bullshit. It's just bullshit. Everybody can relate to this. So I'm in this midst of a crisis where I want to get healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not a super unfit person,
Yeah.
but also I'm not capitalizing on being as fit as I could
Correct.
or as healthy as I should. So I quit smoking cigarettes again.
Yeah.
And I did that mainly just because when I started back, it was like, fuck it, I don't care. I like smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
I just run out of breath so fast. I get the cough.
Yeah.
I get all of these things. And then, obviously you have that fucking mental, I can't breathe. I have fucking lung cancer, and so it's I'm a hypochondriac in that way.
Yeah.
And then also it's I've gained some weight.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking's not going to help that. I do have some blood pressure shit, and
Floating around.
which
Don't we
is
all?
probably part of the cause why I blew a vein in my eye,
Probably.
which I'm going to get checked out. As for my eye, though, it's doing really well. I showed you earlier.
It looks better.
It looks a lot better than it did.
It's gonna look worse before it looks better.
Yeah. So my bullshit is more of just getting healthy because it is difficult, man.
Ain't easy.
I don't. So everybody that's listening to this, if you've listened from the beginning, I was in the military, did that for 8 fucking years. And so drinking water is not a big thing for me. I can drink the fuck out of water.
Yeah.
Do I get bored drinking water? Hell yeah.
So does everybody.
Yeah. But I found Body Armor, which has been a great supplement to my water because it is a superior hydration drink that, packs the punch of everything that I need without all the heavy salts of Gatorade, which isn't good for somebody who has blood pressure issues.
Well, that everybody forgets that Gatorade was literally meant for players that were on a field sweating,
Dying.
sweating to literally physical failure.
Exactly.
And then Gatorade got into stores and it got popular and kids drink it.
Well, it actually became famous for the Florida Gators.
Yes, that's where the name
because
came from.
that's what it was. Gator Aid.
Yeah.
Because their football players were fucking dying out,
Well,
and
yeah,
so they came
the
up with
humidity
this
was
hydration drink
killing
packed it full of fucking sodium, which sodium is good for your body, but it's not good when
In massive
if you go
doses.
do a fucking mile run. You do not need a Gatorade.
No.
You need water. You do a 5-mile run, you need Gatorade.
Yeah.
Because it is going to pack the punch you need to replenish the nutrients that your body needs. Now, Body Armor, for me, has been a turnover because it's got your potassium, your coconut water. It's based in coconut water
Yeah.
with a small amount of sodium, still packing the hydration that you need for your body.
Yep.
So it's just been when I go to get healthy, when I turn to the healthy kick, it's everything. I literally everything. So the food I eat, what I drink, how I exercise, my sleep, I hit everything. And what the hell is that noise? Is that Macy?
I believe one of the dogs are still
Go
indulging themselves in their
go
bone.
away. She's not gonna fucking go away.
That dog doesn't listen. She runs this house.
She listens really. Mace, come here. Come here. Come on. See, she's bringing it to me now. She's like, okay, come here. Good girl. Let me see it. Let go. Ready, go.
That was a wall.
Just trying to get her out of the room. But no, it's just the bullshit's been trying to really focus and buckle down Like, I love to drink Monsters in the morning.
Yeah.
I've done that because of the military. Because I would go 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours without sleep and just needed that hard pack punch that coffee can give you, but it is delayed.
Yep.
I drink a Monster, and I'm fucking up. Eyes are going, like, we're moving, brains functioning.
Well, I think the other hard thing is we've gotten to a society, and there's been plenty of studies done on it at this point, how much more expensive it is to eat healthy. That's why our country is going the wrong direction.
Because you can go buy a McDouble for $1, but the salad you want is going to be $6.35.
Yeah. I mean, even going to the grocery store, chips versus fruit. I mean, nothing at this point.
It's a heavy difference between the two. Absolutely.
So I've adapted it more on the idea this time, losing weight, than I've ever taken into effect. It's not a diet. Diets do not work. These crash diets, slim fast, it doesn't work.
So crash diets do not work.
It's a lifestyle change.
And like you can say whatever you want, as you know, if you're listening and you really emphasize on like the keto diet or something like that. It's not that specific diet. It's the fact that you're following a trend, lowering your caloric intake, lowering your fat intake, your sodium intake. You're lowering all these things. They just slap a name on it.
Correct.
Like for me,
for something to sell it with.
Like my big thing is taste.
Yeah.
I love to eat. I love to cook.
Yeah.
Like grilling food and smoking food. Like right now, guys, while you're listening, I'm smoking a Boston butt. I think it's like a 12-pound Boston butt that I've been smoking since like 9 this morning. Today is Sunday because we usually record on Sundays and Wednesdays. That's about our normal.
I believe
thing.
It's #smoked meat Monday or Sunday.
Yeah, it's #smoked meat Sundays. You can check me out on Instagram as at wrenchdoctor9225. So if you want to check me out on Instagram, you can do that.
They don't want to see mine. Mine's just golf course and race car pictures. And Jordan's beautiful face.
They would probably still love it. Yeah, I mean my hot ass wife's on my Instagram too. So
does she admit to that?
What?
Do you admit to being on Billy's Instagram? Yeah. Okay, just making sure.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But
no.
I saw the reflection in the TV. I got scared.
But no, so my bullshit's just really been having to buckle down, also being lazy about it. Like, I've been wanting to do this for a couple of weeks, and I really haven't grinded in doing it like I normally would. Like, so I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
My average weight my entire life, once I became an adult, was somewhere around 150, 155. Well, I'm up to like 176, which I don't mind it. When you weigh more, you are stronger.
Correct.
This is facts.
Yeah.
When you weigh more, you are stronger because you have more body mass.
Yeah, your body's has to carry around more weight.
So I'm good with that. Like, I am. But I can see my flaws too. Mm-hmm. You know, the underarm like flap. Like I don't have terrible like biceps or like a terrible stomach or a terrible chest. Like, but I'm just kind of your average go. You know, I am strong. I'm dad strong.
All my weight in the middle. Everything I have is in the middle.
You do, but you're grinding on
fucking
that.
Chicken legs.
But it's just like, okay, Albany, I'm gonna let him out. So, because he's going to be an asshole the whole time. So, guys, if you just heard all that whacking, it was probably Murphy. Still doing it. Still doing it. Still doing it. Guys, if you can't tell, this is not in a production studio. We do the best we can with what we have.
We usually use the children to hide the animals, but the children aren't here right now.
Yeah. Murphy, can you please call him?
Attaboy.
There we go.
Go be a dick over there.
But it's just the bullshit of, like, trying to get healthy. And I would love to have a group. Like, if we can have a Two Dudes Fitness group where people can, you know, make a page. We can make a page and everybody can kind of talk about what they're doing, what they're trying to do to kind of get right. I think that would be awesome. I would be 100% down for that. So if anybody's wanting to do that, let me know.
Hit us up.
But it's also, like, now, like, I'm looking at gyms.
Yeah.
Because we both know you can work as hard as you want. If you can't get your shit together, like, and work out at a gym, ain't no fucking way you're gonna work out at home.
No, I mean,
You might crush it for a couple of days, maybe even a couple of weeks, but it's going to die out because that is your place of rest. That is your place of relaxation.
I really do commend the people that... Sorry about that. I really do commend the people that can work out from home because I don't have that ability. I can't. Never have. My parents had workout equipment. It didn't. Like I said, it's a lifestyle change. The last time I think I've taken the best mindset into it, I've always had the issue with overeating. I don't eat terrible. I eat too much. So I've had to learn, like, we used to cook dinner. I always went back for seconds.
You've had to learn to portion.
Yes. Yeah. I will literally put what we want on our plates, and before we eat, I box up and put it away. Yeah. That way, I know I'm going back because I'm having to reopen the stuff I already packaged up. So,
yeah,
I understand where you're at with it. It's not easy.
But, so now I'm having to look at that extra fee of, a gym fee per month. And I think I've found a really good gym. My neighbor, awesome guy. He actually owns the company. I know he won't care if I shout it out. But he owns the company called Ultimate Plumbing out of Mooresville, North Carolina. So if you guys want to check him out, plumbing needs, he will 100% help you out. He also looks like a motherfucking bodybuilder. Yeah. He's probably 5'8", 5'9", 250, 245. But he is just this big, huge, fucking muscular dude. And he goes to a gym that's 5 minutes away from me. Yeah. So it's just, my bullshit has been really trying to focus on my health. Yeah. And focus, because I'm close to 30. Yeah. I'm turning 29 this year.
We're all getting there.
And the thing that scares me about that is obviously you look at your father, you look at your grandfather, you look at those things.
That's your genes.
I've really focused so hardcore on not eating sweets. Mm-hmm. You can ask Albany. I don't eat sweets. The only time I do is at Christmas time. Yep. But I've focused so hard on that because of diabetes. Because diabetes is this habitual, crazy fucking,
Oh, trust me, it runs in my family.
And so I've really been so scared of it because I don't want to be stuck in a world where I have to take insulin every fucking day. Yep. Or I have to consistently be mindful of my blood sugar. It's not what I want to do. And so since I got out of the military, I do have high blood pressure in my family, but I didn't actually develop it until I was in the military. Yeah. And so I was working really hard at low sodium, low this, low that, really focusing, and I let my mind get away from me. Mm-hmm. And when you let your mind get away, you let your body get away.
Yeah, life took over.
And, I know that I have high blood pressure. I don't want to be stuck on medicine for the rest of my life. That's not what I want. Yeah. So it's just all these changes I'm having to make, and I've done it before, but I'm in this conundrum of I'm getting older. Yeah. I have to realize that. Yeah, I have to, swallow that and really handle significantly my health. And it may come down to me having to take a pill every day.
It may.
But you best believe I'm going to grind the fuck out and make it to a point that a doctor has to look at me and go, well, make a choice. It could be the pill, or you could really keep doing what you're doing. And I want that conversation.
You want that ability.
Yeah. So it's just the bullshit of I have to go back to eating healthier. Yep. I have to really focus. I really have to focus on my water intake. I really have to focus on my exercise. Yeah. And just focus, because I don't care what anyone says. Your health is 75% your mental.
Oh, that's 100%.
Your physical health is 75% your mental. Because when your mental's not right, you're not right.
No. And your body reacts to what your mind's thinking. Yeah.
And I made the mistake. So I took a few days off, the week before or so, before this. And I made the mistake where, I got fucking 4 days off. Albany was tending to, her aunt. Yeah. I was I'm just going to drink, play video games. Well, kind of got out of hand, Yeah. Drinking way too much. Yeah. And I know this podcast is all about, drinking beers, but it's about trying beers. It's about
and drinking responsibly.
Yeah. And I wasn't being responsible when it came to that. And big fucking nail on the head when I had to like focus on that and realize that. So my bullshit literally has just been like, this week alone, I didn't drink Monday or Tuesday. We recorded Wednesday. The only thing I drank was what we recorded with. Mm-hmm. I didn't drink Thursday. Friday, I had like a couple of beers.
Yeah.
And then last night was when I had my like fun night.
Yeah.
And then today, a couple of mimosas. I'll drink this and then I'll be done.
Yeah.
Next week is going to be super on point. Like, I'm really going to break it down. Like, we're going chicken, fucking no sodas that I can, I'm really going to avoid it. I'm really going to go back to like coffee.
Yeah.
Like, I like coffee. And I think one coffee a day, like, I'll be fine. You live on coffee.
Don't want that conversation with me.
Yeah, well, you live on coffee.
I believe I've been voted a couple times over here the coffee fiend in the house.
Yeah, no, I know you're super coffee.
But ask Jordan when my parents
coffee's
come down,
not that bad for you.
That shit just rolls between me and my parents. It's constant.
Yeah, well, that coffee's not that bad for you. And honestly, like, I'm not like...
No, it's the cream and sugar you put in it's bad for you.
Exactly. So I'm not super bad about that. Like, I'll fill up my coffee cup. Like, I have an awesome Yeti that I have completely, like, Nordic out with stickers.
Did you even hit it with the X-Acto knife and everything to clean the edges?
Yeah. So I fill it up in my Keurig, so it's only like halfway.
Yeah.
And then maybe a splash of creamer and I'm done. I used to do like huge creamer, couple things of fucking sugar, but like I also used to drink sweet tea like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Albany, can you come tell them how I used to drink sweet tea, like actually? Because like I used to drink this every single day, probably a gallon a day.
Okay, Billy didn't drink sweet tea. He drank tea syrup. It was
bad.
Like how many cups of sugar did you? 4 cups of sugar and a gallon of sweet tea.
It was 3 or 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like it's your super southern sweet tea like realm.
See what I've learned along the way through the years. Your taste buds will change by what you put in. Mm-hmm. So the first week or so, drinking unsweet tea or something that's not as sweet is probably gonna suck. After a month of it, you don't even notice it anymore. And I know it's the wildest thing. It's one of the things
it's
you have
true.
to learn
It's
along
true.
the
No,
way.
it's super true. Because
I mean, I used to be able to drink unsweet tea by itself. I've gotten back to sweet tea and lemonade at this point. I can do lemon tea. I need to get away from
So I
tea.
used to literally, like, every time we went to a restaurant, sweet tea. And I would drink, Albany can, like, she can definitely verify this. I used to drink 3 or 4 glasses at dinner.
That's a load of sugar coming in.
And then I would come home and drink 2 or 3 more glasses.
Yeah.
But this was years ago. I haven't drank sweet tea like that in probably since we lived here. Right, Albs? Yeah. So we've been here about 4 or 5 years now. Mm-hmm. And have you ever come into my house and there been sweet tea available?
Nah.
No. I really worked hard, especially because of the diabetic thing, to like sway away from it because I know that's a big issue. But I honestly, part of my bullshit is just I kind of want to reach out to our fans and just let them know, look, if you're struggling, like when it comes to your health, especially when it comes to drinking, from the dudes and our production staff, we're here to help you.
Yeah, just say something.
I would be more than willing to collaborate with somebody on like it's something as basic as like a workout plan.
Yeah.
Or like just keeping each other honest. You know, if you feel like you're drinking too much, or you feel like you're not drinking enough water, or you feel like you're not working out enough, or you don't know how to handle food portions, me and producer Albany, and I'm speaking from our perspective, we have really both done a lot of studying, been super conscious. We're not experts, but we can tell you what works for us.
Yeah.
Alex, I know right now, is grinding out in the gym and getting back to it with the holidays and everything kind of died off.
I got a month break.
But
Tried to eat where I could. But
I really want to know how everybody feels about maybe us making a page that'll be like Two Dudes Fitness or Two Dudes Health and Nutrition. You know, something kind of like a subgroup to Two Dudes and a Brew. I'm not telling you to stop drinking. I'm not telling you to stop smoking weed.
No.
I'm not telling you, like now, if you're doing anything hard than weed, then yes, stop that shit. But
you got to find what works for you, what you can function with and work to make you happy.
So it's just, I've been doing like a lot of internalizing on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry it's carrying on so long, but I think it's super important.
Yeah.
People of our age group, the partying has really kind of died.
Yeah.
Like we still have parties, but they're very controlled. So it's like
I had times in college we'd go out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah.
And then function.
But our times are very controlled. Like, Monday through Friday, my focus is work, coming home, enjoying the small amount of time I get with my kids and my wife. We'll sit down and watch a show, or recently Albany's gotten really super cool about video games. That's why I downloaded the video game I just did, because she wants to be a part of that. But it's really focusing on my life outside of being fucked up all the time.
Yeah. Me and Jordan have 2 dogs and try to see who wants to go to bed first at night.
Yeah.
And that's like 7:45.
Yeah.
Ish.
But, I'm super... I just really want to be there for the people that maybe think I'm drinking a little too much, or I'm at the point of like I don't want to go to an actual doctor, because I understand that being in the military, I don't want to go to any doctor, but I would love to have a support system to be like, hey, we don't know a ton, but I'm willing to support you in what you're doing and keep you honest.
Exactly.
I know me and you, we can keep each other honest.
Yeah.
So if you're down, like I'm down,
mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to have my membership to my new gym this week. I think Snapchat, back and forth, seeing each other grind,
proof
is going to be the way to go.
Proof or it didn't happen.
Yes. So guys, that's my bullshit. It's just kind of me getting healthy and me focusing on my body and being here as an adult, being here as a father, being here as a husband. So, on that's my bullshit of the week, which everyone knows what that pulls us into.
What does it pull us into, Billy?
What does it pull us into, Alex?
Oh.
It's your question this week. Jesus Christ. Guys, it is the Would You Rather. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching right now, and you can see that producer Albany is holding...
I have a question.
50... She's holding 50 cards plus, and she is actually holding them to Alex right now. He does not know what they are.
We don't have any school notes in your hand this week, right?
I don't think so.
Because I think we got the definition of what is a nucleus last week.
No, you got Al Capone.
Al Capone. We got Al Capone, yeah. So, if you just watched, Alex, don't read it.
Sorry.
Alex just pulled from Albany our Would You Rather stack of questions. And so, just so you guys know, we don't know what it is. Alex, what is the Would You Rather question?
This week's Would You Rather. Would you rather create history or delete it? That's deep. Where'd you go deep on that one?
Okay. So I guess I got first on this.
Yeah, what the hell?
Okay. Would I rather
create history or delete it?
So I'm going to go with the fact, this is deep. This is already deep. History repeats itself.
Yeah.
So I would rather delete it.
Show your work.
So this actually works well with our topic today, because I didn't even tell you guys what it was.
No, we skipped over that. You're welcome.
But it's going to be based back in the Holocaust era. Now, if I could erase history, as far as erasing what actually happened, not erase what was written, but erase what actually happened.
Yep.
I would erase the Holocaust.
Okay.
That was, I'm going to say it was 100% in my mind the most brutal attack on a society.
Yep.
That's almost ever been done.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, there's a lot of different circumstances. You can go, oh, well, this happened and it was terrible, but it was a really great outcome.
The real question is, like, how do I get to erase it? Do I get to say it's just gone, or do I get to find Hitler as a baby and stab him in the neck until he dies?
My guy, look at the card. This is what I'm living off of.
Producer Albany. So is that what I get to do? Like, erase it by actually physically killing Adolf Hitler?
That's deleting history. Come join us.
Okay, I don't think that you get to murder Hitler yourself. I think it's more so like Hitler was never born, or something in his childhood or life didn't happen to lead to those events.
No, but can I murder Hitler?
That's actually creating history.
You can't murder Hitler.
Why can't I murder Hitler?
We're erasing Hitler. We're not killing him.
But that would erase him if I killed him.
That would start a whole new strand of history.
No, but I would
That would create.
Okay, fine. I'm still going to stick with erase because I think that was...
This table's taking a fucking beating.
It is, man. It is what it is. But I'm going to say definitely erase history, and that's why. Because I think, especially after I get to talking today about the topic, which is actually called Cannibal Island or Death Island, from that stemmed from Joseph Stalin, which obviously was a big right-hand man to
was he
Adolf Hitler.
Right-hand man, or
pretty
was
close.
Like second or third
pretty close, yeah. So
we'll get there.
For me, I'm going to say erase. What do you say?
I'm going to go a different direction with it.
Which you should, because that'll make great content.
Yes. I don't think you ever delete history. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. The way we function is we learn from our mistakes.
Okay.
Not saying that we won't make them again.
Yes.
But we learn from things in the past. A small child doesn't learn that an oven's hot by mommy and daddy telling them.
That's true.
A small child
That's
learns
true.
that a stovetop's hot by putting their hand on there and burning the ever-loving shit out of it, which at the time scares the hell out of mom and dad. But that child will never forget.
Yeah, that's true.
So deleting history, in a really deep way, you don't delete history.
Yeah,
you have to learn. You can take anything that's happened ever.
Yeah.
And say you can't delete it because this is how you learn not to make that mistake again.
Gotcha.
Creating history is something you do to make a name for yourself, create. Thank you, Producer Albany.
Thank you.
Create an image for a group or whatever you want to say you're in. You can't delete history. Unfortunately, like, for example, this weekend's 500. Last weekend's 500.
You need to specify. For
Daytona 500.
There you
NASCAR's Super Bowl race. It was the 20-year anniversary of Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s death.
Oh, yeah, it was. Hell yeah. It was 20 years. Yeah, 20 years ago.
He died 0-1.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Daytona is run in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, Super Bowl's first race of the year.
So why is it the Super Bowl? Because shouldn't Daytona be run at the end of the season for a Super Bowl win?
I didn't make the schedule.
No, but I'm asking you because you work in the industry.
It's always been the crown jewel race to win.
Yeah, but then it doesn't make a fuck, 5 months in.
No, you're not wrong.
So why? It's
a crown jewel race, always has been.
Maybe we need Intercept Your Lunch podcast. He might have something for us on that.
I'll call Marty and see what he has to say.
You should call Marty. You should call Barney now.
Marty.
I said Marty.
You said Barney.
No, I said Marty.
Thank you.
I said Marty.
You said Barney.
Murphy, shut the fuck up! So you need to call him now. Call him on the phone now.
Call Marty right
Why can't you call Marty?
I don't think I actually have Marty's actual phone number. He messaged me through Facebook.
Oh, fucking shit. Call him through Facebook. Can't you do
We're not calling him.
Why?
Because I've got something better for you. Is he still in there?
Yes, and he won't shut the fuck up. Sorry, guys, if you're listening and you hear my dog whining, he's being a dickhead. He's literally had a brand new bone today. He's had all the good shit. Literally, he lives the fucking life, and he still acts like an asshole.
You want what I have for you now?
What? Jesus. No. Fuck you. I said Marty. I didn't say Barney. If I was going to say Barney,
else want to weigh
if
on
I was
this?
going to
'Cause
say
everybody
Barney,
here
I would have
heard you
said
say
Barney
it.
Fife. Don't get the fuck out of here. Wow, this table is taking a beating. I did not mean to make that sound so loud, but it was loud.
That dinosaur is creepy as shit now that I look at it.
Dude, he
That needs to
is.
Stop.
You know what's crazy is like when I was a kid, Barney was like my thing. Like I had like a Barney doll, like the whole nine. And then like afterwards, like being as old as I am now, I'm like, that's some creepy shit that I was like all. But he did make me want to be a paleontologist, so I guess I wanted to find Barney dead.
Oh, that's good. All right, let's get back on it. We're way off track per the usual. So my example:
operation.
20 years of Dale Sr.'s death. Great anniversary. They did a great tribute to him on lap 3. What we learned from that is when Senior died, we were still wearing 3/4 helmets. We were wearing open face helmets, not full faced helmets. They were not mandatory. It was optional.
Wait, what now?
You know the 3/4 helmets where your face is still open but everything else?
Like literally Dale Sr. wore that shit.
Yep. Died in that helmet. The Hans device where it attaches to the back of the helmet and then you strap it to your body so your neck can't move. What they believe killed Dale Sr. is when he hit the wall and his head came forward, the back of his head detached from his spine. He hit so hard.
God dang.
Belt safety, car safety. There's 1,000 different things we learned from that terrible accident that have improved the safety of cars nowadays.
Yeah.
Safer barriers. We used to just race around concrete walls. Now we race around safer barriers. So I mean, it's definitely
I need to pause you real quick.
What's up?
Literally, my computer just took a complete shit. Gone.
Outstanding.
Gone. And Albany's giving me eyes of like I just fucked up, even though I didn't do anything. The computer
Is it plugged in the wall?
No, it didn't die. My computer just took a shit.
Like just started to crash?
I have a laptop you can have.
Like just started to crash?
Yeah. The whole screen just went black. She was gonna get homework done, and
No.
she said I couldn't get shit done because Murphy anyways. So now I have to reopen. So yeah, keep going.
We'll be all right.
We're good. We're
Stay
good,
with us,
guys. We're still here.
It's a really high budget operation.
We get shit done.
So, like I said, it's I don't think you can delete history because we as a race learn. We as mankind learn from our mistakes. Any situation that's come up has happened before.
Can I get your password, Albany?
You don't know your wife's computer password?
No, I don't.
Did you put enough stickers on the back of this damn computer?
Yes. Oh, she's real big about it. No, so actually, what's really funny? Oh, what the fuck?
What'd you do to my computer?
Enter. Now I enter too many wrong things. I have to enter what it's telling me to enter. No big deal. So my mom. What was funny is my mom. The night that he died. Everybody remembers that wreck if you know anything about racing. I remember that wreck, and I'm not even big into racing. I am big into cars, not big into racing.
We still talk about it every year we go to Daytona.
But I remember being in my room, and my mom just like dropped like whatever the fuck she was doing, and it just started like having like a fucking conniption.
Yep.
And she's like, oh my god! And I was like, what? Like, what's happening? And she's like, Dale Earnhardt just died. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so then is when I saw the actual wreck, and my grandpa was diehard Dale Earnhardt, like to the T's. Dale Earnhardt was king.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, this must be a big deal. My grandpa, like, had this humongous plaque that was Dale Earnhardt, his life, like, this is before he died, his life, tire rubber from one of the cars he drove, which is still somewhere floating around in my family. Fuck if I'll ever get it. But, yeah. And I was like,
an icon.
And that's whenever they came out and were like, hey, we gotta do some shit about this. Like, we gotta fix safety
last year when I left Daytona, I had to leave because it rained delayed to Monday. I had to get to Vegas. Long story short, came to the checkered flag. Ryan Newman got turned, and this big accident ensued.
Oh, that's not good.
And there's a couple different conspiracies about how it went down. Basically, Newman was unconscious when they got to the car. Unfortunately, the way they have to do things with racing and everything and NASCAR protocol, if you see the blue tent walls come up, something bad is happening. It's kind of like you ever drive by an accident, you see a white sheet over the car, that means somebody died. If those come up, that means the driver did not get out under his own power. We're moving him without cameras taking pictures of it.
Because
it's probably, honestly, goes back to HIPAA. Because you're doing it directly in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And
that's...
And this,
oh, God, that sucks.
One of the scariest things is there's a tunnel exit out of 4, which they use to bust Dale Earnhardt out. Well, they've got the ambulance of Earnhardt being bust out. Well, then they've got the ambulance of Newman going the wrong way on the track, doing the same thing. Now, luckily, Newman walked out 3 days later out of the hospital with his daughters.
God,
to this day, he says he does not remember.
I was about to say, how do you think he actually feels as far as
he's a
that
racer
situation?
He's a racer. You know that every time you get behind the wheel. When those guys put helmets, anybody, any kind of race car, you put a helmet on, you strap in, you have to fully understand that you may not come back. This is, and I'm sure every sport can say that in a certain way.
Yeah.
But we test the limits a lot, especially when you're talking the amount of speed some of these cars do nowadays. You strap in, you're not wearing a helmet for shits and giggles.
No.
You're wearing a helmet because you're going to get bounced hard if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
We wear fireproof suits, fireproof underwear, fireproof shoes.
Everything. I mean, I feel like...
And that only buys you a little bit of time. It's fireproof for like 8 seconds.
I feel like when Earnhardt died, it really took the NASCAR world by storm. The racing world in general.
It showed that you could no longer just let the drivers decide.
Yeah, you had to...
Because you let an icon make his decision because he swore he would never wear a full face helmet. His son did the same thing. Junior, how you heard about all the concussions and everything? His son wore a 3/4 helmet till Senior was killed. Then all of a sudden he was wearing a full face. Because NASCAR mandated it. And he also, now that Junior's a big advocate for concussion protocol.
He should be.
He sat out 5 or 6 races a few years back before he retired because he hit hard at Talladega and claimed that he was nauseous, he was dizzy, didn't really know where he was.
His shit was fucked up.
And he says to this day that he's still not 100% right.
No.
So, I mean, and we're off on a tangent again.
Well, we were also filling time so I could get back to my shit.
Are you shit up?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay. To wrap this up, Billy went with delete history. I believe I might have swayed him a little bit in my work. I went with create history. If you want to send us your would you rather options, send them to our email at
Twodudesandabrewpodcast@gmail.com.
Our Facebook Messenger, our Instagram, text message, I don't know.
Or if you see us in person,
snail mail,
yeah, absolutely.
let us know. We'll know. And the obligatory card throw.
Yeah. Oh, that was perfect.
That hit Mace in the face or hit the box?
No, in the box. So, guys, if you couldn't see on YouTube, he literally just landed the no card in the box. So, hell yeah. That moves us right into our topic of the day.
I think we got one other thing holding us back.
We need another beer.
Yeah, is producer Jordan awake? She's directly behind me. I don't want to keep spinning.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's pop a top.
Come join us, Jordan.
Yeah, I love the sound of that every time. So I'll go first. I'll go first this time, and I'm gonna try my cheat. Wow, Jordan just busted her ass.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna try my cheat code again.
Oh, we're gonna try your cheat pour.
I'm gonna try my cheat.
Okay.
We're gonna see what happens
Watch
with
this,
it.
Jordan, because this is gonna fail.
Oh no, it did. I spilled a little. It's all right. It's still a good pour, but I did spill a little, so I lose points.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good pour.
I'm about to say I don't.
Yeah,
I lose
shot
points.
Of beers on the fucking table.
Not even a shot, but I do lose points for that. Alex, make your pour, He is making his pour now, and he's going to make his big turn right now. There you go. And let's see what we get. That is perfect. That is a perfect fucking pour. I'm going to have to say it. You could lose a little head on the bottom side, but overall,
I think the way it's going to bevel like that.
I think that's a really good pour. So both of us had extremely good pours. I'm going to lose some points just because I spilled a little bit. Jordan, what is the rate?
I'll give you, Billy, a 4.5, and Alex, I'll give you a 4.8.
What?
Woo! She's tight with the ratings.
Go on.
She's tight with the ratings. Well, hey,
it's just not fair.
Hey, cheers, my guy.
Cheers.
To good health and not wrecking race cars with...
3 for Dale.
Do it for Dale. Do it for Dale! Mm-hmm.
I like this beer because it's bitter.
It's really not that bitter.
See, is it in the foam that I'm getting bitter from?
You're getting bitter, but like that Pojo we did last week,
Yeah.
that Pojo was more bitter than that.
Oh, I've slept since then. I don't remember that.
So, guys, the topic for today is Cannibal Island. So, I don't think I need to brush over the Holocaust history.
No, I think that's pretty well accepted.
I think that's pretty well good. And also, all the shit I had up to go over the background is gone because everybody knows my computer just took a complete shit. So, I had to rapid fire. Luckily, I emailed most of it to myself. So,
well, that was smart.
This article literally covers everything I need to talk about.
Outstanding. Talk to me.
Cannibal Island. In 1933, nearly 5,000 died in one of Stalin's, Joseph Stalin, like we talked about, died in Stalin's most horrific labor camps.
Yep.
So it's called Tomsk, Russia. Every year, a small group of locals travel the 550 kilometers northwest from the Siberian city to Nazinsky Island in the middle of the Ob River to place a wreath at the foot of a wooden cross. This is a gesture of remembrance for the victims of the horrific events that unfolded there in the summer of 1933.
Okay.
This is a statement, comment, whatever, but it says, every year in June we place a wreath at the cross that was placed on the island in 1993. Valeria, I'm gonna fuck this
You're
up.
gonna say good luck with German names.
Shiitake.
Shiitake.
But this year we couldn't go. The water was too high and the island is mostly entirely flooded now. Their dedication to the pilgrimage is part of an effort to remind fellow Russians of an experiment in social engineering and self-sufficiency that went tragically wrong for many of the quote-unquote settlers.
Yeah.
Lured by Soviet authorities under Joseph Stalin, whose brutal excesses have frequently been downplayed under Russia's current leadership in favor of a more forgiving historical interpretation of Stalin's 3-decade rule. 85 years ago in May, a small flotilla of lumber barges pulled up...
Yeah. Like tortilla, but flow.
Pulled up to Nazinsky Island and offloaded about 3,000, again, settlers, quote-unquote, with orders to construct a special settlement. Sediment.
Settlement.
Yeah.
Special
settlement.
All right.
As their little corner of Stalin's Gulag. The network
Gulag.
Yep.
The Gulag.
The Gulag, yep. The network of labor
there.
camps that spread across the Soviet Union where millions of people were repressed and killed was euphemistically called, at least 23 of the prisoners were already dead upon arrival.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't... This wasn't a cruise to get there.
No. Without tools, they weren't given tools, they weren't given shelter, and they weren't given food, and they were surrounded by armed guards who shot anyone who tried to brave the icy river. The prisoners quickly fell victim to starvation, disease, violence, and brutal elements, and still additional barges continued to pull up at the island.
Goodness.
So basically, it was an island where the Nazis...
Yeah.
would
store people,
take all these fucking people, because like you hear about a lot of the mainstream, like Auschwitz. You know, Auschwitz was the main camp. That's the one you can visit if you go to Germany. or whatever. Is it in Germany? I think it's in Germany.
Yeah, I want to say Auschwitz is in Germany.
I don't want to be wrong about that, but you can visit that place. It's obviously historically held up right now. But there are places, death camps, which this is called Cannibal.
Auschwitz concentration camps in Poland.
Poland. Okay, so I thought I was wrong, but I'm glad you corrected.
Yeah, operated by Nazi Germany and occupied Poland during World War II.
Yeah. So, you hear about all the mainstreams, but you never really get into the more minor, well, not even minor. I mean, this is a person's life, but you never really get into those crazies.
No.
So, numerous gruesome incidents of cannibalism were reported. So many, in fact, that the locals came to call it Cannibal Island or the Island of Death. Because ultimately, if you put a human in a situation where they have nothing to eat, nothing to drink, shelter, anything,
yep.
Well, I hate to tell you, Alex, but you're going to start looking a little bit delicious.
It's the big uns they eat first.
We can hold that food back. We can hold that meat back.
We can have a little bit of lunch.
Oh, wait till I get into some real shit.
Oh boy.
So,
probably not a good topic to be joking over either.
By August, at least 4,000 people were dead or missing. According to a Soviet document dated August 20th, 1933, there were only 2,200 survivors out of the 6,700 prisoners who had been sent to Nizinsky Island, a low-lying swampy strip some 3 kilometers long and about 600 meters wide.
So not to mention, they sent it to an island. They put them in a swamp part.
Yeah.
You can't build in a swamp.
And there's
you can't
nowhere
grow
to
in
hide.
a swamp.
And it's so small, there's nowhere to hide.
Nope.
Only 300 of those survivors were deemed at the time fit for further work.
What?
So
took them back?
Out of like 7,000 people,
yeah.
And the 2,000 that maybe survived it, only about 300 were actually able to do anything, and they were probably the ones that were cannibalizing.
Probably. They were totally eating.
Yeah. So this is a quote. Once a woman from the Island of Death was brought to our house. This woman named Feofila Bailina, a resident of the village of Nazino on the north bank of the Ob, recalled in an oral history in 1989. She said, she was being taken to another camp. The woman was taken into the back room of our home to spend the night, and I saw that her calves had been cut off. Calves, I need to expect calves, the back of her fucking legs. Your calves that make you do everything more than you actually know you do were cut off. Now, she said, the woman with her calves cut off, said, they did that to me at Island of Death. Cut them off and cooked them and ate them. They did that to me. All the meat on her calves were cut away. Her legs were freezing because of this, and the woman wrapped them in rags. She was able to move on her own. She looked like an old woman, but she was just literally just a little over 40 years old. The Nizinsky tragedy was the product of pitiless Soviet efficiency. So if you really remember back to like the Holocaust and how the Nazis actually were,
yeah,
they didn't give a shit.
No.
Like I've seen multiple movies. So back when Netflix started, you would go on their website, order a movie, get movie, and you couldn't get another movie till you sent that movie back. So that was through the mail.
The original Netflix.
So I remember ordering, what was it? Something List. Schindler's List. So I ordered Schindler's List.
Yeah.
And it's about a 4.5 hour movie. Pretty much completely partaking in everything that happened in Nazi Germany and like Schindler's List. Basically, it was Liam Neeson.
Is it a documentary or is it actually made into a movie?
It was a movie. So Liam Neeson, who I believe was the main character, but he actually played a real person where he would try to create jobs for the Jews to slowly like smuggle them out of Nazi Germany. Anyway, the secret
the movie was from 94.
Yeah. But you also can look up like The Pianist.
I've never seen that. I've never heard that one.
Oh, The Pianist is great.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Who's the main character of The Pianist? You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. So he's super, super easy guy to like, when you see him, you're like, oh, yeah, that's a fucking famous actor. You pulling it up?
Yeah. Oh, he played in Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
He played in that Jack Black fucking King Kong movie.
Yeah.
That's what I remember him from.
Yeah.
He's done plenty of shit, but I remember him from that movie.
So he plays a pianist. And goes through the Holocaust as a pianist and ends up somewhere near the end. He's like got a beard, his hair's growing out, he looks anorexic as fuck, and he's like trying to hide out in this like house. One of these Nazi soldiers like finds him, ends up giving him his coat, and like tells him like there's nothing to be found here, like he's fine, like the whole nine. Anyway,
I've always looked at that movie with Tom Cruise, Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Because that was supposed to be based on Stalin, wasn't it?
I believe so. Let me keep going.
Yeah, keep going. There's a bunch of different
Secret
movies.
Police head Genrikh Yagoda and Mateve Berman, head of the Gulag system, dreamed up a brutal social engineering project aimed at resettling at least 2 million people in the remote reaches of Siberia, Soviet Kazakhstan. The idea was the settlers would bring millions of hectares of land into cultivation and develop self-sufficient communities within 2 years. In part, the plan was aimed at covering up the ongoing famine in the Ukraine and other parts of the country. To generate settlers, the government reinstated the hated system of domestic passports that had been banned after the 1917 Bolshevik coup. Almost immediately, police throughout the country began rounding up anyone found in a place other than where they were registered. So, a quote was, "How did you end up here?" We asked one young man, recalled Belina in her oral history. He said, "I didn't do anything. I was a student in Moscow. On the weekend, I went to visit my aunt who lives in Moscow. I go to her apartment and knocked on the door, but before she opened the door, they grabbed me right there. I was arrested because I didn't have my passport with me." Vera Penovaya, a resident of the village of Ust-Tima, who also gave an oral history in 1989, recalled meeting a man named Kuzma Sonikov, who had been on Cannibal Island. He was a miner from Novokuznetsk. I read this over like 100 times. I'm still going to fuck it up. Married with 2 children. Once he went to Novosibirsk and stopped at the Central Market, Penovaya recalled, at that moment, they surrounded the market, set up a dragnet, and arrested everyone who wasn't carrying documents. Everyone, including women and children, was loaded onto a barge and sent to Nazinsky Island. There was no food, she continued. People were tortured by hunger. The guards threw them bits of bread as they passed the island. If you got a piece, you ate it. The rest had nothing. Sonikov was there, but he managed to escape. He swam the river and made it through the swamps to a village. After that, he worked on a collective farm. The police, however, worked too quickly. When the first 25,000 people arrived in Tomsk in April of 1933, their camp had not been built. Prisoners continued to collect, but they could not be transported further because of the Ob and Tom rivers were still iced over. As was standard practice in Stalin's Gulag, the fact that it's Gulag, and I think Call of Duty, it's hilarious, but it's not hilarious. Common criminals were mixed in among the political prisoners as a means of maintaining an atmosphere of terror. Soviet documents preserved in the Gulag Museum in Tomsk record the interrogations of some of these criminals who were at Nazinsky Island. One was asked if he ate human meat. He responded with, "No, that's not true. I only ate livers and hearts."
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. As for details, he said it was very simple. Just like the shashlik, we made skewers from willow branches, cut it into pieces, stuck it onto the skewers, and roasted it over the campfire. I picked those who were not quite living, but not yet quite dead, he added. It was obvious that they were about to go. that in a day or two, they'd give up, so it was easier for them that way. Now, quickly, without suffering for another 2 or 3 days. Others describe women who were tied to trees while men cut off their breasts, calves, and other body parts. Another common criminal whose interrogation survives bragged of beating prisoners to extract the gold in their dental work.
Jesus.
In order to get smokes, he said, when he asked why he did it, people need to smoke. From the guards, you could get a matchbook of tobacco or 2 whole newspapers for rolling cigarettes. The disaster on Cannibal Island was so horrifying that a local communist instructor named Vasily Velichko set out on his own initiative to investigate in July of 1933. He interviewed dozens of people and wrote an 11-page report that he sent to Moscow. Novosibirsk and the district center Narum, his report was stamped top secret and only came to light in 1994. People began dying, he wrote. They burned to death alive while sleeping close to the fires. They died from exhaustion and the cold. Immediately after the snow and frost came the rains and freezing winds. He continued, and the people were still left without food. Every 4th or 5th day, some rye flour was brought to the island and distributed to the settlers, a few hundred grams each. After getting the ration, the people ran to the water and mixed it with flour in their hats and ate it. Many people just ate the flour as it was, and since it was a powder, many suffocated from breathing it in. Dzerzhinsky Island was finally evacuated in 1933. When Velichko reached it in August, all the settlers were gone. Before I continue, do you have any thoughts?
It amazes me that went on, but that's honestly one of the better, I can't even say this, better plans they had. They were putting them on an island away from everybody, hiding them. You know, they had Nazi Germany going on in Poland and basically everywhere the Nazis owned at that point. And the fact that they were able to get away with it for that long, with that amount of cruelty, and, you know, get their own people to believe in that. Because, you know, Hitler's not going out there and doing that.
No.
You're not talking about 5 or 6
I'm pretty sure
people
Hitler was never actually, like, ever killed anyone besides himself, his wife, and his kids, and his dogs.
Yeah.
Like,
at the end of the day, he brainwashed an entire group into believing him, and everything was led by fear.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing how he was able to get everybody to believe the way he believed.
Yeah.
Because originally, remember, when Hitler first came in, he was a national treasure. He was the savior of Germany, this and that. They voted him in. He was supposed to be the next great thing in Germany that was still struggling from World War I.
Yep.
And all it did was end up, as soon as he got power, he put his real agenda in play.
Went to his head.
Yeah.
So I guess my question for you is, so if you're stuck, and obviously I'm not done with this article, but if you're stuck on an island,
yep,
you haven't eaten.
Okay.
I'm assuming surrounded by like salt water, so the only way you're getting water is by boiling it.
That's correct.
And that's if you know how to do that.
Or if you have a pot or pan to even do it.
Yeah. Would the female or male body structure, which one would be more appealing as far as food?
That's a loaded question, and I don't know how to answer that, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to answer it from my perspective.
I don't know because I don't
Females would be more apt. And the reason I say that is because, one, on a naturalistic standpoint,
yeah,
a male can overpower a female. And that's not me being sexist. That's just science.
Yeah.
That's just is what it is. Also, though, women got titties. Women got booties. You know, a lot of meat. Actually, hold on. No, I was going to call you up because I have to actually go pee. So, but what I'm saying is, my perspective, I don't agree with them doing what they did.
No.
But I can't put myself in the mindset of having no food, nothing, like, no way to, like, feed. Also, my kids are there.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, this is the option. Like, this person is about to die in, like, 2 days, and they have good meat on their bones.
Well,
what do I do?
The female body is built to carry extra weight
because
of
that situation.
Yes.
So I'm going to let Albany take over so I can go pee. Also,
come on, producer Albany.
I'm going to check my meat.
Check your meat.
And not my dick meat, but my actual meat.
Great. No. You beer.
Try the beer.
Okay.
Beer.
Nah,
beer
bad.
first.
Actually, I think you'll like it.
Ew. Ugh.
Okay.
No.
Well, Billy, that's 0 for 1. Good job.
No, Billy, I want you to hear this because I'm about to school your ass.
All right, go for it.
Fire away.
All right, so if we're going to talk about how men are physically stronger than women, okay, I'm not going to argue that 9 times out of 10 that's the case. There are some women who can kick your ass, but we are genetically smaller majority of the time. That being said, why on earth would you want to eat a little tiny piece of meat if you can eat a big old mammoth?
Because big titties.
Okay, titties, do you know what that is? That's full of milk ducts and fat. Nobody wants to eat that.
She's not wrong there.
If you're super hungry and there's no other option,
you're going to eat fat. But if there's
but the biggest reason.
But if there's a big giant man that you can eat that's full of muscle and good meat, why would you not eat him?
Because I have to wrestle that big motherfucker and I'm already weak. It'd be easier for a male to wrestle down a female, a smaller female.
And then get no meat from it? That's you being a pussy.
No, because I'm gonna go fight the big. I'm gonna go fight the big motherfucker. He's gonna kill me, and they're gonna eat me. Or I can go, hey guys, let's go kill that.
Well, at least you'd be a good meal for everybody. Then, like picking off little pieces of skin.
I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. It's you have an argument. Billy has an argument. The only reason I would even say a woman is because of the structure, the way you guys are built. You have a tendency to hold extra weight longer than a man will, because a man, that body can be leaned out a lot easier because we're not built to carry children.
Right, but
in a starvation mode, I don't know how it works.
The extra weight that a woman carries is generally fat, so
Correct.
that she can sustain
a second life.
Right.
Yeah.
That being said, fat's not tasty.
Neither is McDonald's, but when you're starving at 2 a.m., it works.
I don't know.
Jordan, I'm so happy you're awake. Okay, I thought she was going to say
I'm sorry,
something.
No. I'm gonna continue with Billy's little story.
Yeah,
here.
what do you got?
All right, what was the last thing you said? Something about
about them shutting the island down.
Okay. After getting the ration, the people ran to the water, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they mixed the flour with water and they ate it.
Out of their hats, and they died because of just ingesting powder.
Whoops. Okay, why is my computer screwing up now?
Wow.
Oh, Billy has a tendency to mess everything up.
Do I need to look at both computers before I leave today?
You might need to. I don't know what's going on. All right, well, anyways, these people, I don't know. I lost the place for him, so he's going to have to come back and figure it out. We're winners right now.
So, Billy, thanks for rejoining us. The perfect time. Albany's completely lost your spot where you're at on the document.
No, I'm good. I figured it out.
And she also blamed you for breaking. Okay. Her computer, the mic set up.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that sounded awesome.
So I'm back. I
blamed you for the mic setup.
Oh, okay.
No, I blamed him for the mic setup because his shoulder tried to take the whole damn thing down.
No, you're good. You're good.
So, like we talked about, men versus women, who we're eating, we're still... Jury's out on that one. We'll come back to it.
Oh, geez. She did lose my spot so hard. All right. So give me just a... Okay, there it is.
Where you going with them Girl Scout cookies, producer Albany?
So, as I said... Wait, where are you at with it?
I told producer Albany, I have a tough time picking. I'm going to say women because of your argument there. They carry a little extra weight intentionally because of the ability to bear children. Especially men will drop weight a lot quicker. As we all know, working out, a man's going to drop weight quicker than a woman any day. If you're on the same diet, same idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to have to say a woman probably. But there are so many factors that play into that. That, again, it's a loaded question, and without, having, I hate to say details on it, I got nothing.
Okay. So I think I picked back up. Let's see. I picked those who are not quite living, not yet dead.
We were at the part where he had flour in the hat, died because of flour in the hat.
Okay. Let's see. No, wait. Why did she scroll? Why did she do that?
You guys are hard on equipment, you know that? You killed one computer.
Shit.
Her computer's dying now.
So she's, for some reason, scrolled to where I talked about how, like, men would, well, not men, but a conjoined group would tie women to trees, cut their breasts and calves off and other parts of their bodies.
Yep.
Another common criminal whose interrogation survives bragged of beating prisoners to extract the gold from their dental work.
Yep.
Which I think that's kind of where we were at. In order to get smokes, he said.
Yep, we talked about smokes.
Okay, people need to smoke. From the guards, you get a matchbook, blah, 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 rolling cigarettes. The disaster of Cannibal Island was so horrifying that a local communist instructor named Vasily Vashiko, which I talked about, people began dying. He wrote, they burned to death alive while sleeping close. Okay, there it is. He interviewed dozens of people and wrote an 11-page report that he sent to Moscow, Novosibirsk, and the district center of Narim. His report was stamped top secret, only it came to light in 1994. People began dying, he wrote. They burned to death alive while sleeping close to their fires. They died from exhaustion and cold. Immediately after the snow and frost came, the rains and freezing winds, and the people were still left without food. Every fourth or fifth day, that was... Okay, now I'm with you. I had to, find my place.
Since producer Albany lost you.
Yeah. Nazinski Island was finally evacuated, like I said, in July of 33. When Belichico reached it in August, all the settlers were gone. The grass on the island was head high, he wrote. But locals who went there to gather berries returned after discovering corpses in the grass and stick shelters full of skeletons. In 1989, the Tomsk branch of the Memorial Human Rights Group sent an expedition to Nazinski to gather oral histories. I went there from Tversky to cut hay. Nazina resident Tajia, I'm going to fuck all these Russian names up. Shokovarvaya told the memorial team about her trip to Nazinski after the camp had been abandoned. I saw people washing their hands. I was holding my nose and thinking, what are they doing? They would wash their hands and then run back up. I saw that they were collecting gold teeth. There was a state store then in Alexandrovsk. They took the gold there. Anyone who had gold took it there. They had some nice clothes, macaroni, and good food. Well, macaroni, just good food in general. I love macaroni. What you mean, bro? I love macaroni. Anywho.
Huh.
I mean, macaroni is good food. Belichico's report caused a sensation in Moscow. The Communist Party sent a special commission to Nazino to investigate, and the facts of the report were largely confirmed. Several officials of the former camp were reprimanded and sentenced to prison terms ranging from 1 to 3 years.
That's it?
Yeah. Belichico's report was labeled secret and tucked away in the archives. Belichico himself was fired from his party job. He later became a journalist and gained some fame as a war correspondent during World War II. He traveled with the Red Army all the way to Berlin. After the war, he wrote several novels singing the praises of the transformation of Siberia under the Soviet government. He never wrote anything else about Cannibal Island.
So what it sounds like is somebody paid him to stop writing about it.
Either paid him or threatened him.
Yeah.
So
let's kick back. So we talked about washing hands. They're stealing gold teeth. We're going to dead bodies, the bodies and the skulls.
Well, I mean,
just skeletons we're finding looking for gold.
So imagine.
Yeah.
6,000, 7,000 people.
Yeah.
Only 2,000 or so remained.
And at that point, they were using gold to make caps for teeth.
Yeah, but you're talking over 4,000 bodies. So how many bones are in the human body? It's like 200.
Is it 208 or 216?
I'm going to look it up. Hold on. But my thing is,
I got told I don't know. Look it the fuck up yourself.
Yeah. Well, I got it right here. See, how many bones are in the human... someone's listening to us right now. And
206.
Okay. So you have 200 bones in the human body. 206 bones. Is that me?
That's you. That's not me.
What the forkinator is happening? Nope, stop talking. All right, so...
That's our one episode fuck up.
Yeah. Well,
somebody
this
got
one's had a ton of
computer,
fuck ups, but I don't really care because I'm like enjoying it. But it's 206 bones. We're going to say 4,000 people.
Okay.
So what's 4,000 times 206? Do the math.
8,006?
No, I don't. You know what? Let me just pull out my handy dandy calculator.
It's 824,000.
That was close.
That doesn't sound right either.
What's the number again?
The calculator.
Let's see. 206 times 4,000, 82,400. So 82,400 bones. All right, Jordan. Thank you.
824,000.
No.
Yes.
82,400.
206 times 4,000.
Yeah.
I got a calculator right in front of me. 824,000.
Okay, fine. 824,000.
The math in this room is fucking awful.
We're terrible at math here. No, what I'm saying is, so the density of a bone, and then being able to use, like when you got, so think that you were one of the last ones to show up to that island.
Yeah.
Shit got hard, right?
Yeah.
Shit got difficult.
Yeah.
You got all these bodies around you. Probably some that are already decaying because they're a couple years old.
Oh, it smells like death there.
But they're decaying.
Yeah.
You need to build a shelter.
That's correct.
Would you use bones?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If they're... The body's a vessel.
The body is a vessel.
If they're gone... My walls are going to be built out of something hard. If I don't have an axe, cut a tree down.
But you mix it between the mud from the swamp,
Yeah.
the bones, the trees.
That's correct.
And you make your shelter. And I guess like the biggest question is like, how do you think you would mentally handle dismembering another human without hate towards the human? Because, I can think a lot about people I really, really fucking, hate. And, oh, you shouldn't hate anyone. Fuck you. Someone you fucking hate and despise.
Yep.
And would have no issues taking a chainsaw to them, breathing or not.
How long until your brain takes over and...
starts to dump out the logical sense.
Correct.
And starts to overtake with the crazy.
You got to understand that the human brain can do a lot of things. And you hear this in victims a lot of, and if I say this wrong, please somebody correct me. They black out situations. The brain protects itself, but the brain will also go to a certain place if it has to
for survival,
in the fight or flight mentality.
Survival. It's all about survival, And
you would do something that you wouldn't do on a regular day. You would never do. But if that is what your brain has come to, if I have to take this skeleton or these several skeletons to put a roof over our head so we don't freeze to death tonight,
they need to be a part of the structure of the building we're making, and they're going to be there. I just my thought runs back to what were the people thinking that had to do this?
Yep.
What were they dismembering and just completely third party in it and just being nope, we just got to do it because it's what has to be done? Or were they more like, I'm so sorry I'm having to do this. You're dead, you can't hear me, but I'm so sorry I'm having to do this, and praying to whatever God they believe in while they do it? Or does the mentality of the animal come out? You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm sure the mentality of the animal ends up eventually
comes
out.
Obviously the actual human, mankind,
yep,
we are the top tier as far as it goes with our brains and how they work and how we break things down, and we are top food chain type deal.
Yes.
Because we have been able to pretty much cage anything otherwise.
Well, and especially when you've seen that much devastation, that much traumatic things, I'm sure at some point your brain just stops.
It's just like it's in go mode.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right,
you no longer are even thinking or being upset. Again, it's back to your brain has figured out that this is bad.
Yeah.
We need to worry about ourselves at this point because look how many dead are around. This is what you got.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, to me, it's just insane. Like,
it is. Oh, there's no question about that.
But then you have to also retract to, which I'm sure the listeners are doing it now, retract to, how about the people that put these people in this situation? You're telling me all of them were like, oh no, they're lower than us. No. I don't care what anyone says. That is a human life. That is a human life. And out of 7,000, because that's the average there, that's the overall average, it's like 6,000 something, but like 7,000 overall.
Yep.
You're telling me not one of those humans was able to connect with one of those guards and be like, no, like, this is wrong.
But you got to remember, at the end of the day, this was a time that if you step 1 foot out of line, it could get you killed. It could get you shunned. You could go from being a guard one day to being one of the prisoners the next.
They only had like,
you can't test your limits.
In this article, they only had one actual escapee who got through the rivers and the swamps and got to a town. But like, I'm sure there were much more than that.
Well, how many tried and failed?
Oh yeah, and were shot.
Yeah.
Shot and fucking killed.
Yeah, caught in the act.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, so all through, like, my school years, which is crazy to think that I've been out of high school now 10 years.
What year did you graduate?
2011.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm at 9. Yeah, because I was thinking 2016, but I graduated college in 2016. So, yeah, 2012.
Yeah,
Son
so
of a bitch.
2011, I've been out for 10 years.
Producer Albany, what year did you graduate? High school.
Wow.
2012.
Producer
2012.
Jordan, what year did you graduate high school?
2012.
Okay.
2012. So I
you're
graduated
only 2011.
Yeah, so I graduated 2011. But like, all through my school years, here in the U.S., because I know we have European listeners. Shout out to our European listeners.
Hit us up.
Thank you so much.
We see you.
I know, especially the French guy. Or French girl.
Every
the French
week.
person. You are downloading every week, and we love the fuck out of you. Reach out to us. But I know through all of my 12 years, every time a project came up, and it was an open project, I would always go back to the Holocaust.
Yep.
But I would always go back to the Holocaust, and I would try to find the things that were not mainstream. So, like, this is not mainstream. I didn't actually learn about Nazinski Island or Death Island or Cannibal Island until, honestly, I was on TikTok.
Okay.
I was on TikTok scrolling through, doing, like, my For You page and shit like that, and then I went over and just did the normal shit.
Yeah.
And this came up, like, this island.
Yeah.
And I started, like, and it was, like, only, like, 30 or 45 seconds long. And he kind of hit, like, main points.
Yeah, he hit hard topics.
I was like, wow. Like, I'm actually super interested because I've always been super interested. So, like, when I was in, like, 8th grade, we had a project due at the end of the year for it was, like, history / English / literature, like, this whole thing.
It's a smash course.
Yeah, and I did the Holocaust.
Okay.
Well, so did, like, 3 other people. But I did all of my main focus on the smaller details that were never known.
You wanted to go outside the box,
which was hilarious.
History Channel.
Yeah, which was hilarious because they all 3 went before me, and you pretty much saw the same presentation all 3 times. And then when I came up and I was like, I did my project on the Holocaust, everybody went, you know, like the deeper, like,
you all use the same website. Let's hear what you have to say.
And then I hit them with, like, all these crazy shit, like outlandish facts that weren't even close to what the other ones did.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting, like, Like, I think you got 100 for the project, and then it was like this bonus if you hit all these other standards. I ended up getting like 130.
Oh, there you go.
Because I hit them all.
Yeah.
But it's always been super interesting to me to try to understand the brains of like the Nazis and in Nazi Germany time, and like the actual Jews that faced so much deprivation from, and like, so Albany, you might be able to really like put in a better elaboration. Like, she's going to graduate this year with her bachelor's in like psychology and all that. As far as the brain works, Albany, how do you think Adolf Hitler was so able to like construe the minds of the Nazi war generals, the Nazi small soldiers, like all of that? Like I really want to know, because like you've studied so much on the brain and all of that. Like I'm very interested.
Okay, so I'm not an expert, but Hitler made his way to a hierarchy by being confident and saying things that people wanted to hear. Even if they were empty promises, he would say them so people would follow him.
Yeah.
And
that was his way of tricking everybody into his ideals.
So then when he got to power, he was in charge. He was a sense of power. And so these people saw the shit that he was doing and didn't want to revolt or rebel because they didn't want to be the Jews. So it's easier to it's like, a defense mechanism. Like, I have to kill these people or I'm going to be one of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just sort of the way that worked. That's how he manipulated
Is that kind of how, like, the serial killer route goes? It's just kind of like the brain is able, because like, so like a lot of the serial killers that I know that you watch and that like I study, they're really good at taking said victim and making them super comfortable and feeling like they're part of their process, I guess. Or, like, and when I say a part of their process, I mean like a part of like the relationship. Like, we're, this is so comfortable for me because like I'm with you, like I understand you, and then they kill them off.
So most victims don't feel that way. Most victims are trying to strategize to get away. So if they pretend like they're comfortable, are you talking about the victim or the killer?
Both.
Okay, so
I'm talking about it more like in the beginning stages, not once you're captured, but like.
Well, it depends on the serial killer. Like, Ted Bundy, he was charming, so girls were like, "Oh, he's cute. I'll do whatever he wants," and then he would kill them. Whereas like John Wayne Gacy, he was somebody who was very powerful. And would just sort of like manipulate people with his power.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's other people who like ambush, but victims, if they, go along with the killer, they do it because they're strategizing to get away or they're trying not to be killed. Whereas killers,
that's the fight or flight mentality. You're just you're not trying to fight them. You're trying to go along to run away eventually.
Right. Whereas a lot of serial killers grow like in their brain a relationship with their victims because essentially they're trying to fill some kind of void. And so these victims are important to them. That's why like most serial killers remember the names of their victims. They remember what they were wearing. They like to keep trophies because these were important parts of their lives.
Because they conquered that portion of their life.
Well, not necessarily, but they filled the void for at least a short period of time. And that's why they continue to kill, is because once they kill them or once they don't fill that void anymore, they have to kill them and move on to the next. But they still are important parts like of their psyche, of their life, because they filled that void. They were that person that was their ultimate drive.
Got you. So come here.
Okay.
Because I know I want you to stay here because it's just I'm really trying to understand like the human brain and like understand like the craziness of the crazy.
Well, like eating people, like in the Holocaust, what other choice did you have? You were going to starve to death.
And that's
I
where
agree,
I'm at.
but
With it.
that's
Was
why
fight or flight right
but
there.
it was cannibalistic. But if you,
It's wrong, but if you, I'm going to die.
But if you restate back to like, so Alex, are you typing?
Yeah, I was looking up fight or flight stuff, and I just.
I'm about to say I can literally hear
black hole trying to look, and I had way too much smart people in front of me.
So what? So my question would be. So, on Cannibal Island or Death Island, right?
Yep.
They were obviously eating people.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got to the point that they were putting, females against trees, tying them up, cutting their breast off, their calves, and other body parts, as the article stated.
Yep.
And were eating it,
right,
to survive. So, I haven't read a lot that suggested the same happened in, like Auschwitz or any other death camps or work camps. But I have read to where, like, they would be given, like, a loaf of bread and everybody would get, like, a small bite. So is there a human brain concept there that you've studied that shows that as long as there's an outlet to a food source, even if it's the smallest portion, that a normal human won't take the gates of cannibalism?
Okay, so I haven't studied deep into cannibalism. But my take on it is, how were these people conditioned? How were they treated? Were they, because...
Well, I mean, like 23 or 26 showed up dead.
Right, but I'm saying... how were they treated when they got there? They were conditioned for these situations. At some point, in some way, it was like they had no other options. If you're getting a loaf of bread once a week to split with 100 people, at least that loaf of bread is coming. And you will get some
So it's
some
food. It's the conditioning of, like, I know food's coming compared to, like, there's no food available.
Well, it's...
Even if it's the most minuscule amount.
But it's that, and too, like, what were these guards telling them? What were they doing to them? Did they see the guards normalizing this? It's a whole... I wasn't there, so I can't tell you specifics, but there's a lot more that goes into it than just like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat somebody. Because
we all know, like, if you don't know by now, like, you've been living in, like, a damn cave. But, like, as far as, like, the Holocaust went and, like, everything that engraved with the Holocaust was, so with The Pianist. So when we watched The Pianist, like, I know me and you watched that together.
You're geeking out so hard right now.
Because I love this subject. I hate the cause of it, but I love the subject. But what I'm going to say is, watching The Pianist, and you watch the guards walk into, I believe it's The Pianist. If I'm wrong, guys, if it's Schindler's List, I'm sorry, but I know it's between the two movies. But there is an aspect where they're filming from across the street into the apartment of a Jew family.
Yeah.
Well, they ask everybody to stand. All these people are at a dinner table. Well, the grandfather can't stand. He is actually paralyzed from the waist down, so he cannot stand. So the guards roll him out to the balcony and throw him off the balcony.
Oh, wow.
Yes. You remember that?
I blocked that shit from my brain.
Okay.
I don't like the Holocaust.
So I do believe what you're saying as far as conditioning from the guards goes. The guards didn't give a shit. No. They saw the Jews as a lesser life, a lesser piece.
That's what they had to tell themselves to get by.
Right, because at the same time, the guards were conditioned as well. They were conditioned by Hitler. It was all like save your ass situations.
Yeah, it was
what is going to help? It was survival mode.
It was a brainwash mixed with fight or flight.
Yeah.
But, like, watching that, and then, like, obviously her comment, how are the guards conditioning it? I believe the guards were, like, almost...
numb to it.
Yeah, and this can even relate back to, like, current shit, which isn't even that current anymore. I mean, we've been in Iraq and Afghanistan for years, but, there was that incident with where, I think it was Iraq or Iran, I believe it's Iraq, where some of our United States soldiers, which I was a part of, so I'm not hating, but they captured some really bad Al-Qaeda people. Al-Qaeda obviously is a terrorist group.
Yep.
It's just like ISIS.
Yep.
But they captured them and like pissed on them and did all this shit. Like, it's the dehumanizing aspect that really caused so much. Like, but I feel like as being a part of being a guard and being in that type of mental state, you almost have to dehumanize what you're around.
Right. They didn't see them as humans. I mean, they couldn't see them as humans. They were not equal. They were not humans. And it was a means to an end. I have to torture these people because if not, I'm going to be tortured and killed. And then the humans on the other end that are being tortured, it's who's the weakest? We got to eat them because we have to survive. Yeah. How are we going to get out of this?
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm good. I just wanted to get the opinion of somebody who's actually been like studying it. And no, she's not an expert, but she has been studying like as far as it goes with like the human brain, and like obviously her major is psychology, and like so the human brain is it just, to me, it's insane. Like it just
it can do a lot of amazing things if you can get it out of that state of hiding.
Yeah, and put it out and just put it in a different perspective. Like, you know, you go from this life is okay, like even back in the 30s, like life wasn't great, but in their times life was normal, you know, even though it wasn't great, it was normal, to all of a sudden we got to go full caveman.
Yeah.
You know, and when you put the human brain there, the human brain's going to react.
It will.
Accordingly.
And that's the thing. It will, your brain will react to protect itself.
Exactly. So, Alex.
Yeah.
Final thoughts on Cannibal Island, final thoughts on Death Island, final thoughts on that piece of the Holocaust, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small piece of the Holocaust, too.
But before you give it to me, let's pop a top.
Producer Jordan, come join us, dear.
She's like, God dang it, I can't even nap during this one.
You've stayed awake through the whole episode.
She has. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you right now. Let's pop a top.
3, 2, 1.
Yes!
I don't know why. I feel like I'm going to be harder on this.
All right, so I'm gonna pour first.
What? Did you hear that? You gonna be harder? Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna pour first.
I'll just pour my beer on the floor now.
Yeah, right. All right, but I'm not gonna do the cheat. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my normal pour.
Yeah, you'll fuck it up.
Since I'm commentating through it, because Alex won't fucking commentate through it.
I commentate through it. Words. All right, beer and glass.
There we go.
That's weird.
Wait. It's almost. Damn it! I was really hoping for a bevel, but that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good pour. So I'm not. Alex is pouring now. He's gonna make his turn now, and let's see what we get. All right.
A lot of foam.
Oh
sit, bitch.
shit!
Sit, bitch.
No, Alex caused a spill. Normal operation around here, guys. If you've been a part of this podcast at all, you know
Producer
that somebody's
Albany,
gonna
can I
fuck
get
it
a
up.
T-shirt, please?
Nah, let it. It's fine. Let it be. It's good. It's good. Let it be. It's good. You're fine. You're fine. Your OCD is fine.
Alex, you're a 3 because you fucked up. Billy, that's a good 4.5.
Ooh! I'll take a 4.5. Thank you so much, Producer Jordan, for coming in and rating our pours tonight. You have been much more difficult, but it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Alex, what is your final thoughts on Cannibal Island or Death Island?
My mess, okay?
Quit being a little bitch. Look, what's your final thoughts?
Okay. It goes hand in hand with the Holocaust. When you hear something about that, like if you heard that in a context by itself, you didn't put names, you didn't put what year it was with it, you'd go, wow.
You could relate it immediately.
That sounds a lot like the Holocaust. No kidding, because it was during it. It was a very weak time in the country's, the world's mindset. I don't know how. Unfortunately, you had a sick leader get involved. Somebody that was mentally sick that led a country. It was the perfect storm. Again, come out of World War I. Germany was very weak. No money. I mean, they're dead nuts bankrupt.
Absolutely.
They just got an ego punched to the throat over World War I because they didn't think they could be beat. And then just the fact that he takes over, now we're we're looking for this great, Hitler takes over, this great white knight, he's going to take over, and he flat out flips the script, and it got him into World War II. Obviously, you do any research on Hitler, there's plenty of information on him. The fact that he had mental illness problems, whatever version you've heard, I've heard everything from he had mental illness from the beginning to when he got gonorrhea. The gonorrhea gave him voices in his head, whatever it is.
There's been all kinds of crazy shit.
He was mentally sick. It was another facet of his abuse of power. Thank God it hopefully will never happen again. I do feel bad for the families, the people that have great-grandmothers, great-grandfathers, XYZ of that, any connection to that, because that honestly is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way around that.
For me, as far as final thoughts, thank you for your final thoughts on that. For me, it's beautiful. It's weird how the world works because, we asked for the would you rather, and it was would you delete history or would you create history?
Which went outstanding with the topic.
And guys, I'm telling you, that was completely at random. If you watched on YouTube,
if you guys really think we plan this ahead of time,
we really don't.
I woke up about an hour before I got here. We set this shit up and went.
So I didn't even announce the topic during the episode. Alex really didn't know what I was going to talk about, but the fact that the would you rather just happened to coincide is pretty amazing.
Happens.
But guys, I just really want to put out there, when I say delete history, I mean delete the bad. Yeah. I don't say forget it. I say delete it.
Yeah.
You should never, ever, in the famous words, forget history, because history repeats itself. History always repeats itself. But if I could get rid of one single strand of a piece of history, it would be that. Would it mean it would cost us the title of, back-to-back world champs as far as it comes to wars? Yes, but you know what? Over 6 million lives were lost in World War II. And
it's not an easy pill
guys,
to swallow.
Literally just look at everybody in the room you're in right now. Everybody. I'm looking at 4 human beings right now. Or I'm looking at 3 human beings, unless I count myself. If I count myself, I'm looking at 4 human beings.
I get you, Mir.
I know so much about all the human beings in front of me. I know so much about you. I know so much about Albany, so much about Jordan. Yeah, obviously, my son's in the other room. I know so much about just my dog's lives.
Yeah.
To think about, those 6 million, 7 million people who have lost their lives in the Holocaust, and you think about, that was a mother. That was a mother who cooked dinners for her kids. She had a specific recipe for a certain dish that everybody loved, or the father who could fix anything, or the father who even if he was the drunken father who was there when he needed to be, but not really. It doesn't matter.
These were people. These were families.
What they did on Cannibal Island, was take these structured society humans and put them in this animalistic environment.
Yep.
And they had to survive, and you made them retract to the basics of the brain, which is food, water, shelter.
Correct. Against
their will. And without anyone to be there to save them. Because I don't know if anybody's watched the show. There's multiple shows, but one I can attribute it to is Alone.
Yep.
There's a show called Alone. It's on Discovery. We are not sponsored by them. I'm just referencing it.
Sponsor us.
Yeah. I'm just referencing, though.
Yeah.
They get sent out there. They're living in the woods with the animals and nothing else, and they have to learn how to survive, build their shelters, cook their food, learn how to drink the water. And
we talk about generations.
But the best part is, as soon as it's too much, they can tap out.
Yep.
They can radio and say, "This isn't going well. You need to come get me."
There's always a time that they know they can opt out.
Exactly, and these people didn't have that option. It was survive or die.
Yeah.
And Do I fucking look down on those who did what they had to do to survive? Hell no, because I would have done the same thing. Do you go after the weak? Yes. Of course you go after.
That's basic survival mentality.
Why do you not? Why do you not go after the weak? Are they supplying anything for me that's helpful in this moment? No. Are they supplying meat that could be used? Yes. Well, guess what? I guess I have to do what I have to do.
And it truly is a shame that the brain can do that, but I think in a lot of the you hear about generational issues all the time. Each generation gets more and more accustomed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're born a regular household. We're not going to get into specifics on anything.
Oh, absolutely.
You're born in a hospital. As soon as you're clear, you go home. You got a roof over your head, TV, food and water. I mean, how many of us honestly say we ever honestly had to track down dinner, field dress it, cook it in the woods because that was your only option?
Yeah, I mean, I've only been in that. I've only been in that situation once or twice.
Yeah.
And that was solely because of the Army.
Yep.
Because I was hungry.
They wanted to make you have to think that way.
Well, no. It just came down to, do I want an MRE or do I want real food?
Well, see, even you had the option there.
I did.
MRE.
I had the option to an MRE, and we chose not because we were tired of being constipated. I'll be honest about it. We were tired of being constipated because it's
high protein.
It's fucking 3,000 calories in an MRE, but it's super constipation and it sucks.
I was going to ask, what's an MRE for those who...
It's so an MRE is meals ready to eat, and that's what they serve you in the military when you're out in the field. A lot of guys that get deployed, that's what they eat when they go on mission.
It's legitimate cruelty.
But
I've had one in my life.
I've had so many. But literally, it's designed to fill you full of protein and calories to keep you functioning. That's what it is.
There is no flavor.
And when I tell you, it's a fight. It's a fucking fight. Like, I've been in a fist fight over this.
Yeah.
I've been, going to basic and AIT. Unfortunately, my basic and AIT was not the norm. I wish it would have been.
Yeah.
We got treated much differently than we should have, and to the point that multiple drill sergeants after our company actually did get sent on different escapades and kicked off the drill sergeant trail because of how we were treated. I'm not asking for woe is me. I got through that shit. I lived through it, and I think it was the best experience I had.
Yeah.
I've gotten to a physical fist fight, like fought other grown men. Now, mind you, like I said, I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
At that time, I weighed 150 pounds, maybe. Did I have a lot of experience in the physical realm? Of course I did. Physical fights over peanut butter. Yeah. Because peanut butter was the best thing you could get out of an MRE at the time. Because
Flavor.
we weren't allowed to eat the candy out of it with the peanut butter. The peanut butter was clutch.
Yeah.
It was packed full of protein. It tasted good. Slap it on some crackers. Like, I can tell you right now, I one time got a MRE with peanut butter and crackers. I got bumped into when I put my peanut butter on my cracker. It fell down in the sand because I was in Fort Benning, Georgia. It hit actually an ant pile, so there was ants on it too. And I 100% ate that motherfucker. Sand, ants, and all.
Extra protein.
Yeah. So I can understand getting down to that basic point, but I can't even fathom having to think about, like, looking at you and being like, I need to eat your thigh bone. Yeah. Like I need to eat your thigh muscle. Like, I'm sorry, but...
And that's where you push the brain to its breaking point.
That's a breaking point.
Yeah.
100%. But, Alex, thank you so much for your final thoughts.
Thank you for bringing the topic. Something different, something out there.
Something
I'll bet a lot of people
have
guys,
not heard I think of. We need to put that out there too, is like, we do have like it's a very rough draft of topics that we decide on. Alex tends to stay more towards that rough draft. I tend to run outside of it.
So draw a line on the ground, take a baseball, throw it, then get in the car and drive with another 3 or 4 miles. That's where Billy's at.
Yeah. So,
doesn't stay with the line at all.
No, I never do.
But it's fine. It makes for good content.
Because I really want to bring you guys original shit, and I really want you to hear it original straight off the bat.
Well, we try to go outside the box.
We really do. Obviously, I try to stay more towards like the paranormal and like UFOs and like all that crazy shit. But like sometimes I really do like to get back into like the actual facts of history.
I flat ass wing it.
You wing it a lot.
Yeah, it's cool.
But guys, we really appreciate you listening to this, and we hope that you enjoy it. I know that we get about 30 to 40 downloads per week, and for us, we're happy.
We'll keep making content if we still got downloads.
Guys, share it. Let us know what you think, obviously. But, Alex, we have half beers full now.
We do.
We need to get to the review. So, Alex, my brother from a different mother.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your brew review on the Lefty Loosey IPA from Revelry Brewing Company out of Charleston, South Carolina?
Let's start with can art. Can art's a solid 4.7. Little hippie-ish for me. The little hippie behind me as I hear her laugh.
Producer Albany.
This is totally up her realm of...
That jumped off the shelf at me.
I can't believe it didn't jump into your hands and try to serenade you, but yeah. The can's interesting. It's definitely some fun.
So you say 4.7?
Yeah, 4.7. They took the name, played with it, ran with it, had some fun. Again, it's from, like you said, it's from Charleston, so it helps to have that kind of beach vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Has some fun with it.
You got to.
4.7 for can art. For taste, I'm going to give it a 4.6. I actually really liked it. I've never been big on fruitier beers, trying to get the citrus or trying to get that. I want my coffee to taste like coffee. I want my liquor to taste like liquor. And I want my IPA to taste like an IPA.
Yeah.
Tastes like an IPA. It's bitter. It's hoppy. And honestly, it's not thick. We're on 2.5. And I don't have that overly bloated feeling like you get when you drink a really heavy, like a lager. I like it. It's definitely worth trying. If I saw it on a menu somewhere, I'm definitely going to order it. Not a bad beer. You didn't reinvent the wheel here. You just put a quality beer out there. So 4.7 for can, 4.6 for taste. Billy, talking about can art.
So I'm going to match you on can art and say it's 4.7. I do like how they use the entire can for the label. Like, I don't have to see a double. Like, it's 100% all the way around. This is one label. And, for me, I love the Rugrats, and they really hit it with
it's got
the
Rugrat
lettering
feel.
on the Rugrats.
There's a Rugrat beer.
We have
Buy
to try.
it.
You need to try that.
Buy it. What is it?
I think it's a blonde.
That's fine.
Buy it.
We're not just IPAs, so, send us whatever.
I guess we should say it. Guys, we are not just
Guys,
IPA beers. We just like IPAs.
I've been doing this a long time. Obviously, I've been doing this, before Alex. The episode, which we're going to do a new episode on, is the Blood Orange IPA from 21st Brewery. I think me and you should do that because I think it would be a great review as far as new.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to say it.
Say it.
We need to have like a... This is a 5.
That's a 5?
This is a 5.
Oh, shit. Is that our first 5?
This is our first 5 together.
What'd you give the Blood Orange? What did you give the Blood Orange?
It's no longer on air. I gave the Blood Orange a 5. That was the first episode I did with my former co-host Dylan, who is obviously experiencing he's actually approaching different projects at the moment.
He is, yeah.
And those episodes are no longer available, but this is
5.
This is the first 5.
Wow.
And the reason I say that is because, first of all, it's from my, home state. Second of all...
Oh, that's stretching it.
Second of all, they didn't reinvent the wheel.
They did not.
As to where it came, where they said in the quotations, talking about like brewed in the left coast, traditional. This is a dry and bitter. Lefty Loosey is front end loaded with those old school hop varieties.
Yeah. I
got so much differentiation of hops.
Yep.
And the variety of them.
Yep.
And it didn't overload me. And it just hit every taste bud I needed it to hit. So, guys, this will be the very first episode. I think this is episode 16 or 17.
Good question.
I'm going to give this a solid 5.
5.
Because
Producer Albany, write that down.
Because I can 100% tell you right now, when Albany goes back to get beers, this will be a beer she picks up.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. Because color was great, taste was great, texture was great, smell was great. Nothing, absolutely nothing, turned me away from this beer. And the fact that I know when I go to drink another IPA that's separate from this IPA, I'm going to be comparing it.
Yep.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough. This really landed so good for me. And it really hit my taste buds just the right way. I'm actually going to enjoy drinking the rest of this beer, and I'm going to get more. It's going to happen. You know, like for me, it hits.
I can tell why you're talking about. I'll see it again when we come over.
It hits the nostalgic points.
Yep.
You know, as far as Rugrats, that's nostalgic for us.
Rugrats.
You know, that's early 2000s, late 90s. You know,
I'm telling you, I think my parents still have the copy of the orange tape.
Yeah, I mean, they smashed it on all of that.
Yeah.
And then they just topped it off with a really, really good beer.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, the Lefty Loosey IPA out of Charleston, South Carolina, from the Revelry Brewing Company, you get a 5 from me. Hope you guys will sponsor us.
Hit us up.
Because I need to check out more of your beers because I'm really impressed by this one, and I don't think you're going to disappoint if I go further in your collection.
Simple is always the easiest.
Well, it's like, you know, like I said in the beginning of the episode, and I said last episode, Albany and I have discussed it multiple times over how the local breweries always try to go over the top.
Yeah, and try to reinvent the wheel.
You know, Pojo or Poho IPA.
Pojo.
Out of Huntersville last week, you know, they didn't go over. It just, for me, it wasn't a 5 because, you know, it just kind of didn't hit exactly on the points.
Yeah.
This one out of Charleston really stabbed it. They put it right in perspective, killed it, murdered it. I'm good to go. So, Alex, why don't you tell the people where they can find us?
So, if you're looking for us, obviously you're already listening to us right now. So you're either on Spotify, you're on YouTube, you're on Apple, Stitcher, is that one of them?
Stitcher, Amazon, we're on Amazon too.
On Amazon. If you have any questions where to find us, send us an email at
Twodudesandabrewpodcast@gmail.com.
Send us a message to one of our phones, text message,
Facebook
message
Messenger.
the page. You know, we're here to talk. Again, would you rather? Topics you want to talk about. Anything. You guys just want to talk to us. We're here. We're open to anything.
Absolutely. And, you know, I want to make it super clear that, like, guys, we're here. Like, we're doing this for fun. And, like, Alex is the same. We honestly do this for fun. We don't get paid on anything that we do.
No.
All of this is self-supported. You know, we've talked about doing a Patreon and doing those type of things, but right now, we're just super focused on bringing you guys the best content we can bring you. So, whatever you're enjoying, whatever you're doing, we are still in talks with a couple of companies about doing some hats, some shirts, and a giveaway and all that. And we actually have some cool shit coming for you guys that watch on YouTube. We have some really cool shit coming as far as background goes.
We got some stuff coming.
Yeah, and we're just we've been at this. So I've been at this since August. Me and Alex have been at this around since October-ish.
Yeah, right about there.
And we don't plan on slowing down, guys. We really want to bring you content every single Friday, and we really hope that you're enjoying the content we're bringing you. So when we post these episodes and we post these, things on our Facebook page, our YouTube, make sure you comment, make sure you like. Hey, guys, if you don't like what you heard, that's good too. Let us know. Let us know where we maybe offended you, or maybe we didn't offend you.
There's no such thing as bad feedback. Thank you. I completely blanked.
Just send us what where you're at, what you're thinking.
Maybe we need to adjust.
And also, if you love what we do, please share this with your friends, your family, all those things. Yeah. We know we get a little wild sometimes. We know we get out there.
We're really good at that.
And we say kind of whatever we want. But guys, that's us. That's what we do. Again, there's nobody marketing this. There's nobody fucking telling us what we can and cannot say. We say what we say, and we accept whatever comes from it.
Correct. Billy, Brewski of the Week. I've got an idea.
You do? Who do you got?
You gave out your first 5.
I did give out my first 5.
I think it's only true then to give Relevant Brewing.
So I will agree with you 100%.
Because
Revelry,
you went down
Revelry Brewing Company. You are the honorable brewski of the week.
Because a 5 was given out.
And because you got the first 5 out of 16 or 17 or 18 episodes.
A lot.
You got the first 5. So Revelry Brewing Company out of Charleston, South Carolina, guys. Make sure you check them the fuck out, and make sure you tell them that Two Dudes and a Brew sent you.
If they don't know who they are, tell them to look us up on Facebook.
Exactly, guys. But that'll be the honorable brewski of the week is Revelry Brewing Company.
Yeah,
and it's solely, right now, it's solely based on the Lefty Loosey IPA. They really murdered it this week.
We'll be back for more.
And I'm super excited to capitalize on all their other beers.
Hell yeah.
So, guys, thank you so much for listening. Again, this has been Two Dudes and a Brew podcast. I am Billy.
I'm Alex. For producer Albany, producer Jordan, everybody involved, we had fun.
Cheers my guy.